Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Mandernack for the people, P 84088.
Good morning.
And good morning, Your Honor. May it please this most honorable court, Kim Michon, Neighborhood Defender Services, P 59167. And it's my pleasure to represent the defendant in the matter.
Good morning, Ms. Michon. Good morning, Mr. James. How are you today, sir?
Good.
Good. So we are here for sentencing.
So Judge, at the top of the page under offense, it says count 1 aggravated stalking attempt.
Yes.
It should just be aggravated stalking.
Okay.
And then the offense max, instead of being 2 years, 6 months, should be 5 years and or $10,000. Semicolon probation for any term of years, not less than 5.
The defense agrees.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Michon.
Your Honor, the defense did have the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report with my client. The corrections we have to make are a bit more substantive in that if the court reflects upon prior criminal adult history, 2 of 10, in essence, what Mr. James is saying is that he does not remember any of the convictions for trespass, which include one that is 2 of 10, which is a 1995 conviction for trespass. He disagrees that that's him. He does know that there's another person with his same name living in that same community. I don't know if that's where all of these are coming from. He's also going to object to 3 of 10.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So I see the one for 2 of 10. Okay, go ahead.
And
So-
then there's one that's 3 of 10. He also has no memory of that whatsoever.
Okay.
And then if you reflect down on 7 of 10, he also disagrees. He does not believe that is his conviction either. Mind you, they are quite a bit older and I don't think have any effect on the guidelines, but he would be objecting to those.
Okay.
All of the others, he agrees. And with that, Judge, there was an agreement with the people. We would ask that you adopt same. Mr. James is in treatment presently. His health, the court is well aware of, is deteriorating rapidly, quite frankly. He has not been able to see his doctors at U of M in quite some time for a scan. He is hoping that the court will remove the tether and allow him to continue in outpatient treatment and obviously get the help that he needs for his present cancer treatment.
Ms. Michon, are you saying that the tether has interfered with his treatment?
I think, Judge, if the court, he's hoping that the court will not require him to continue with Salvation Army. He is hoping that the court, as that was not part of the agreement, it was part of bond, however, that we placed him there for treatment. He is continuing in that treatment. He would like it to change to outpatient treatment. As he understands, he still has a ways to go, but he's hoping if the complaining witness will allow him to return home, and obviously I cannot speak for her, he would like to live out the rest of his days with his wife.
Okay, but I want to be clear about whether the tether is interfering with his treatment. Is it?
I know he gets scanned, is that correct, my friend?
Yeah, they scan my whole body through.
And in doing so, I would imagine that the tether would interfere with scanning equipment, but that is just my best guess, Judge.
Judge, I am not a doctor, obviously, but I do know from encountering this issue before that having a tether on can interfere. I believe it's specifically with MRI scans. Based on my conversations with complaining witness, I have no objection to removing the GPS tether.
All right, thank you. I am familiar with the hindrance that an MRI presents, but I asked Ms. Michon because I definitely want Mr. James to get whatever treatment he is medically advised to receive, and we'll remove the tether, certainly. especially because Mrs. James is not opposed. And I also read that Mrs. James would like for Mr. James to return. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, but again, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth.
Judge Miss James is here, and I believe she will cover that in her victim impact statement. And Judge Miss James has requested that her victim advocate, Brittany Terrell, step up with her when she makes her statement. Is that okay?
Certainly.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, counsel, thank you for this time.
Just one moment, just one moment. Take a deep breath.
I've been trying all morning, I'm sorry.
State your name for the record.
My name is Sheila Lynn James.
Go ahead, what would you like me to know, Ms. James?
Well, as I just told you my name, thank you for giving me this time to speak with you today. I really didn't know what I was going to say, but then I started thinking, 25 years, literally half of my life. And there's been good times, but to be honest, there's been very few and far between. Because the battle always came first. But what it comes down to is I love him. I do love him, or believe me, if you knew me, I wouldn't have stayed. I tried to save him. That's where I went wrong. I had it in my head, if I could just say the right thing, he'd finally get it. He'll finally understand he needs to quit. And he did for 14 years. 14 years he was sober. And then one day he walked in the house and I just looked in his eyes and knew and went, really? And he was like, what? Well, you know what? There it was. It was all over again. I'm going to tell you, once you see the look in the eyes one time, you always know it the next time you see it. He doesn't have to say a word. I just have to look in his eyes. I did everything I could. But I finally realized what it comes down to is he's gonna want to save himself. Didn't matter how much or how bad I wanted it, he needed to want it. It's not gonna happen if he didn't want it. Well, unfortunately now, because of all the drinking, he has cancer, stage 4. But don't worry, we'll fix it. It's what the doctor said, you know, put him through chemo, put him through radiation. It was all good for 3 months till we went back and they said, oh, sorry, Mr. James, it's back. But he said he couldn't do chemo and radiation again. I mean, honestly, come on, let's be real. It's stage 4, throat and lung. He only has 1.5 lungs and we just learned it's fed to his thyroid. Did they seriously think that they weren't going to get him to go through that? Well, now at this point, you don't want to go through it again. And I don't blame him. And his liver is fried. I've seen it on the scan with my own eyes. And his kidneys are shutting down. He walks around daily bleeding out of places where people shouldn't. I speak to staff and things get back to me, so I know. He's going to have 5 years hanging over his head. I honestly don't expect him to make it a year. Honestly, 6 months. It's taken me a long time to accept this because he is a very good man and a very hardworking man. A man who would do anything for you. And I'm not kidding. Even when I begged him not to, he's like, nope, gotta go help him. Be right back. 5 hours later, here he comes, you know? I've had like, I don't know, 5 months by myself alone. And honestly, at first I was scared. Every noise I heard, I wanted to shoot it. But didn't. But as time went on, I noticed something. I found myself. And I have been gone for a very, very long time. About 20 years. I realized I don't need a man in my life. I can take care of things, the house, the bills, everything I need to do one way or another, it gets done. I started slowly noticing that though I do love him, I was thinking more about what I had to do and not what he was doing. I finally found me again. I have been for a very long time upset because all I do is worry, wondering what he's doing, where he was. Okay, my God, is he drinking? What's he doing? Is he coming home wasted? Are we gonna fight? I stopped all that. I don't do that anymore. Honestly, I stopped caring, to be quite frankly with you. He's his own person and I'm me. And I promise, I mean that any wildcat you want to tangle with, they got nothing on me. He knows. With that said, as I mentioned earlier, he now has 5 years hanging over his head, and this sitting right over there, he knows if I even just see the look in his eye, I will call and violate him. That's not even a question. What I want with the time he has left is memories, ones that I want to remember, ones that mean something to me, ones that are not yelling and screaming and fighting and breaking things. I'm over it. I'm 50 years old. But I just can't do this anymore. I've already had one heart attack this year. I will not let anyone, including him or anything else, cause me to have another. I see myself in a different way. And I just cannot and will not watch him drink himself to the grave faster than what God wants to put him there. And the family, they're in this courtroom. They're behind me 100%. I've thought long and hard about this, believe me. It gives me headaches thinking about it. But with the way his physical health is, and where he's bleeding, where people aren't meant to be bleeding from, he's been off drugs and alcohol now almost 6 months. I've decided I don't care if he comes home. With the tail hanging over his head, I'm not expecting any trouble from him. Because as I said, he knows in a heartbeat, I will call. That's not even a question. However, he does need to put in his head right now. In the half a year he's been gone, I've made changes in the home. Changes I'm comfortable with, and he's just going to have to deal with it because I do. And I have the control, and that's what matters. And when it comes down to him and my brother, they're just going to have to find a way to let bygones be bygones and get along. Because that's my brother and he's my husband. What he did to me, I own it. I know he owns it. I can forgive, but I won't forget. And I swear on my daddy's grave, and that's a sacred swear to me for anyone who knows me. I'll break his fingers, call for EMS, and then the police after. So he can come home when you allow him. And I'm sorry this is all I could come up with. And I'm sorry if I wasted the court's time. But thank you for letting me speak with you.
Well, James, it's not only your right to speak, but it's my honor to allow you to speak.
Thank you for that.
You don't have to thank me. You're entitled. You've earned it.
Thank
You
you.
deserve it.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Ms. Michon, any allocution on behalf of Mr. James?
Other than to say, and forgive the language, that is one heck of a lady. What an extraordinary woman that this man has. Both the grace she has shown, the strength she has shown, and the fact that she advocated for herself. That's extraordinary. And it was a privilege to see. And I hope he deserves it. And I hope he heard her and will not be back before the court and disappoint that amazing woman again. Thank you.
I don't want to go through doing things and cleaning up after people that are just ridiculously not there, you know what I'm saying? I do janitorial in the center, and instead of in the toilet, it's on it, around it, and back of it, and you know what I mean? And I'm bending over, cleaning, sweeping, mopping, it's hurting my back, my kidneys are already putting pressure on them, and you know, I need to, I wouldn't mind working, but I need something to where I can stand fine. It's bending over, picking up paper and 5 acres of land, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I don't like to sit. I'm quite active, but I can't work. She needs some help with things, the car, everything else. So yeah, I will be doing quite well. I can do this.
I believe you. You know, Mr. James, the last time that we were together, I told you, and I believe this as well, that no one knows how long you have. I'm a person of faith, so I happen to believe that that is in God's hands. You may not be, but scientifically, we know that nobody knows. And I'm hopeful that however much time you have left, you'll do exactly what your wife has requested, that you will create memories that when you're gone, she and the rest of your family can enjoy. You've had a very rough go. And, you know, we talked a little bit the last time about how alcoholism is a disease and it's insidious because it's accepted by society. And it seems to be elevated above all other drugs that people take and use and misuse. So it's easy to do, and it's easy to get caught up in it. And everyone who drinks doesn't have the susceptibility that you do. You have a disease along with the cancer and along with your mental health issues that I suspect you were self-treating for many, many years. I've said all of that to say there's not a lot more that I can say than what your wife has already said, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But I believe that you can spend the rest of your days sober, productive, and happy if you put your mind to it, if you continue to put your mind to it. And I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for your entire family.
Yeah, I gotta make amends to a lot of people. I've let go and let God took it, and I pray every day. So
And as far as those toilets are concerned, I think, Mr. James, perhaps this isn't the reason that the Salvation Army requires it of its residents, but I think that it's humbling. I think that that kind of activity can help us become better and help us give consideration to others more than ourselves. And you can take those lessons when you go back home to your wife, who's waiting for you to be the husband with whom she fell in love and has spent all of these many years with, right? It's going to be the sentence of the court to adopt the sentence agreement, which is for 5 years of probation. And we did agree to batterer's intervention.
yes, I've got it set up, but I wasn't able to attend. I was required to have a day off because it couldn't interfere with my classes or my work, and I didn't have any days off until the court date. I had
Well-
to change my day off to work Monday and come here. And
Well, your agent is going to work around your schedule. And we do expect you to participate in it and to complete it. But I want you to know that what I want to see for you, what I think is the biggest priority, is for you to go home and make those memories with your wife and the rest of your family. I hope you understand what I'm saying, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. Thank you for allowing me to see my wife and my dogs.
Mr. James, you're gonna have 42 days from today's date if you disagree with the sentence, the conviction, or both. And I didn't do the costs and fees, so let me back up a moment. There's $130. You don't have to write this down. We'll have an order. There's $130 crime victims assessment. There's a $68 felony charge. Both of those, state felony charge, both of those are costs and fees that I have no discretion to modify. But the court costs of $1,300, I will waive. And I will also waive the $400 attorney's fee, because although I'm certain that you will agree that the representation that Ms. Mershon has given to you is worth far more than $400, that $400 doesn't go directly to the attorney. It goes to a fund to help provide other indigent defendants with counsel. And I'm going to make this non-reporting probation. So you won't have to check in with a probation agent every, however often it is. I think it's once monthly. Because I'm confident that your wife, who has found her voice and reacquainted herself with herself, will let me know if there's anything that I need to know.
She didn't want to put me.
So you know that she will let me know. And I'm counting on her doing that, but I don't think she'll need to. Now, you have 42 days from today's date to ask the Court of Appeals to review your conviction, your sentence, or both. And if you need the assistance of an attorney to do that, but you can't afford one, you need to let this court know within that 42 days, and I'll appoint an attorney to you for that purpose. Do you have any questions?
I'm happy with that, but yeah, how long do I have to pay?
I didn't hear you.
How long do I have to pay the other two fines?
Well, when you get it. Don't go in the poorhouse over it, though.
Yeah,
Pay it as you can.
I got a guy that does landscaping and he'll let me do odd things, jobs to help out, and so I can make a few bucks to help her and save up for my fines, so.
Well, she talked about your generosity. And so I'm not surprised that that's what you want to do.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're off the record. I wish
you,
you well, Mr. James, you and your family.